but it's
Why is it tiring, do you think? Because a lot of the people are interested in what it's like to finish playing. So people like CP148 on Twitter, Anastasia Kudley, I think, talks about some of these things. Anastasia Kudley, was it hard for you to get out of the role after shooting? And I guess it's interesting after playing it on stage as well. CP148, after playing Alex, what's the one thing you began to think about more and one thing you began to think differently of? So it's interesting, does it tire you? Does it change you?
It definitely, it's definitely sort of lonely. That's one of the things I've found about it. Performing it as a stage piece, the thing I love most about my job is kind of the other actors. I absolutely love the
camaraderie and the gang mentality.
I like
and just being able to look into a light.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
No, I love all that. I love a company feeling.
I felt like I was acting with you then. I'm quitting writing to be an actor, only with you.
Exactly. We do Seawall. We could do alternators.
Yeah, let's do it. No, let's not.
And, so I didn't really like that. I didn't like, honestly, acting on your own. So I became sort of really aware of the audience, and because it was usually a small, I would be aware. So if I would say something and one person laughed, I've always said that one person particularly liked the way if you were at a dinner party and you were telling a story and you laughed at it, I'd sort of tell you the rest of the story a little bit.
Yeah,
so it had to be very, very organic, so completely based on what actually was happening live in the room. So for that reason afterwards, if I would see people in the bar or whatever in the thing, I'd be like, oh, I know you, because I would have been usually if you're in a play like here at the Lyric, I wouldn't be able to know who's there. Whereas afterwards, and because I think I didn't have any friends in play.
You've got so many friends. Andrew Scott, I have no friends.
Exactly.
No, because you're lonely on stage. You've not got a gang. You don't
have a gang. You don't think, oh God, the audience is a bit weird today. Did you see that guy with the blah, 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 all that stuff that you talk about? Or you think, what we do now? And then you sort of come off. And you've had a really good laugh. There was, it's because there's so much comedy in Seawall. So I'd love it, like when you would come in, or I became more audacious in that way about if people would come in before the play would start, I would look at them and say, hello. And so was it tiring? Yeah, it was tiring. It was it's terribly, terribly upsetting. Oh, there was an incident that happened that I'll never forget. After we did it in the Edinburgh Traverse, and there was my parents were in, and they had said, "Oh, there's a girl there who just left, and she was very, very upset." And she was in the toilet, and I said, "Oh God, yeah, it's very, very upsetting at 12 o'clock." And I went outside, and I was with somebody. I think somebody was having a cigarette, and the next thing, this man came up to me and he said, "Oh, I just wanted to say thank you very much, but it really meant a lot to us because me and my wife have just lost our 3-year-old." And I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that because my wife is a little bit upset. She's here at the moment." And then she came out into the sunshine, into the thing, and she saw me, and she was just really. She was angry with me, and she was really, really upset, and I didn't really know what to say. And she was like, she goes, "Oh, I can't look at you" or something. And I said, "Oh, that's okay." I said, "I'm sorry." And she said, she was walking away, and she said, "Oh, did he tell you? Did he tell you?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, I just felt like saying, I'm sorry." And she went, No, it's good. It's good." She was saying this as she was walking off the street. And she said that there was nothing fake about what she said. And I suppose in some small way, I kind of believed her that it was good for her to have seen it. And what I suppose is that you remember that that's the point of doing what we do, really. you know, is to connect with someone, and even though that's really, really hard, and it's a whole level of things of feeling uncomfortable and feeling that, well, I suppose that you're telling the truth, and I did, I suppose, in one way, even though feel that she was upset, and I felt that that's the point of it's like that. I think it's an Alan Bennett quote, isn't it, where good art should feel like somebody has. If you're reading a book or something, that somebody's hand reaches out. Is that from?
Yeah, it's
somebody's hand reaches out and touches yours.
Yeah.
And that's, I suppose, because of the nature of the play, and because the play is so much about love, and that I suppose that love that I feel for the audience, and I feel for you, I don't know. There's something that is incredibly important to me, and I actually do think specifically about Seawall. And I suppose when we're talking about the reaction of the on the internet about it, I find that extraordinarily moving, really.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I feel like we've really touched people.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice feeling, and
one of my questions was going to be why you act, which is a very difficult question, but I just wonder if it's in some way related to that.
Yeah, I think maybe it is. I think it is. I think it's a. I suppose it's a desire in some way to try and tell the truth in some way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
To tell the truth about something and really try and really be honest about how you feel. And I suppose that's the greatest. You know, there's. You know, of course, one does it to a certain extent for attention. You know, in some way. But I do find like doing interviews to a certain extent quite difficult doing, you know, with journalists, because I suppose journalists to me get the truth and they make a story about it. Yeah. And what we do, I suppose, is to make a story and then tell the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, completely.
You know,
because I'm really fascinated by your relationship between truthfulness and the imagination.
Yeah.
Because you talk, I think that's really fascinating in you as an artist, is that you're somebody who draws purely from the imagination, not from research, not from a journalistic, documentary search for truth, but for a recognition of yourself in the role of the psychopathic killer, or the biggest pop star the world's ever seen, or just a commercial photographer whose child dies. But it's in the imagination of that you communicate the truth.
I did a lot of acting maybe when I was a kid.
Did
I
you?
loved it.
When did you start?
Well, I didn't. I wasn't like a child actor.
Yeah.
Make them laugh. No.
But were you? Have you? I don't necessarily want to get into the sphere of personal questions. But have you got? You got siblings?
Yeah, I have siblings. Yeah.
Just because I'm interested in the dynamics of siblings by age. Were you the performer amongst your siblings?
No, don't think not. Like sort of stand in the middle of the living room and that kind of.
Or just kind of.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
I was quite shy, but no, my. Yeah, I don't know. I associate with playing, though. I do associate acting with playing, and I think that's why I like I like having a laugh. I cannot stand serious acting. I cannot stand great, sort of portentous, humorless acting, because I think, oh God, what's the?
I always think, you know, and it's like coming to this space here. You know, you walk into the auditorium this morning. And it's one of the most beautiful rooms in the country. And it's our playground.
Yeah.
We can just play. We can play.
Yeah,
somebody once said to me about, they said I'm the opposite of a stand-up comedian. And you kind of meet a lot of stand-up comedians who are very, very funny as performers, and then you meet them in real life and they're really morose. You go and watch your plays and they're miserable kind of explorations of human psychosis, but you're quite a jolly chap.
Yeah.
But I think that spirit of play is really essential. We're the ones who got away with it.
Yeah.
We got away with it.
Yeah, totally.
And the amount of jobs I've done in my life, you know, stacking shelves, teaching classes, running cafes, managing bars. This is the best one.
It is the best one. It is the best one, isn't it? Yeah, and it's just as long as to be able to keep that kind of simple in a way, you know, just to sort of keep it simple.